Hello, welcome to ToryTalks Pokemon Red. Really excited about this one. This is going to be the kind of third series of installment of Tory Talks. This is old school Pokemon Red on the Game Boy, and I've kind of gone through some of the early stuff just to get that out of the way. But if you've never played Pokemon before, or you're not really familiar with it, this is going to be a lot of fun. I love Pokemon. I've never played it. I never owned Game Boy. So this is the first time I've ever played through it. I'm going with Bulbasaur, named him Benny, and that's blue, and apparently he's a huge jerk. All right, blue's going with Charmander. So yeah, here we are. This is Tory Talks. Today I want to talk about Pokemon can fight against it. Oh man, I want to talk about hiking today. Oh no, it's gonna fight me. Oh no. So I have a friend named Ryan, and he is way into ecology and hiking in the outdoors and a lot of really cool stuff like that. And we had a conversation in college where he said, Peter, do you like the outdoors? Do you like hiking? Do you like being outside? And I said, I really like the outdoors. I just would rather look at it from behind a window. And he always reminds me of that. But then a couple years ago, I got way in... Oh, there's no way I've got to beat this Charmander. I got way into hiking as a part of my job that I used to do. We would, at the college I worked at, we would do leadership training in a backpacking context. We would go to the Smokies, and we would hike through the Smokies, usually on parts of the Appalachian Trail. And I just loved it. It was a blast. I really enjoyed being outside. I enjoyed the exercise. I liked all the little things that go with it that you have to learn how to do. It's just a really fun experience. Really, really enjoyed it. I may make a fighting chance here. If he keeps going with Growl, that's no good. Yes, come on. Oh, went back to scratch. I think that's it for Benny. Oh no, hang on. Oh yes, come on. This could be a close one. Oh. Nope, there it is. Ah. Man, that's a close one. Well, he's going to be a jerk about it. So, anyway, I got really into hiking and camping and backpacking and doing all of these things. I'm really indebted to really three people for getting me started. Dustin Fenton, Jacob Adam, and Dr. Hall were guys that I worked with. Dr. Hall was my boss. They really got me into hiking and just taught me to love it. Check my items here. Try to figure out the controls. They really helped me to, kind of learn about it and love it and enjoy it. So I want to talk a little bit about hiking and the things that you're going to need if you want to get started hiking. I think the best way to do it is to just do it. And if you've never done it before, try to go with somebody that has. But really, the worst thing that can happen is you have a couple miserable nights because you're not prepared. I'm a big fan of just full immersion, just throwing people in the middle of it. So some of the things that you're going to need, one, you're going to want a backpack. And a backpacking backpack is not the same as like a school backpack. School backpack, you put it over your shoulders, whatever. But a backpacking backpack, there are two kinds. There's internal frame and external frame. I like the internal frame because it's not big and bulky and weird. That's the kind that I have. I have an Osprey. And basically there's a frame inside it, and it sits on your hip bones so that the majority of the weight, Pallet Town, what kind of name is that? The majority of the weight is on your hip bones and not on your shoulders, because you're going to be carrying 30-40 pounds if you're going out for a few nights. You may be carrying, you're going to carry food, water, you may be carrying a tarp or a tent, maybe a change of clothes, various tools and things that you'll need. So you're going to be carrying things. You want that to be on your hips because your hips and your legs can support way more weight than your shoulders can. And when you put all that weight on your shoulders, it really tires you out. It puts a lot of stress on muscle groups that weren't meant to carry weight in that way. So you want to get a good backpack. Next, you're gonna want level 6. You're gonna want a good pair of shoes. You cannot go hiking in just crummy sneakers. I mean, you can, but my parents always taught me there are just a few things in life that you really should spend the money for good things. Oh, thanks, man. And one of them is shoes. I have kind of lousy feet. I don't have good feet. So I always try to spend a little bit extra to have a good shoe, a good hiking shoe. See those ledges? It's a bit... Ooh, I can jump right there. So get a good hiking shoe. It's got to be sturdy. It's got to support your foot well. Some people like to go with kind of a boot that'll come up around the ankle. I don't really like high tops, but then again, some people have ankle issues. So yeah, good shoe, good backpack. And really, those are the two, I think, one of the most important things. Next, you're going to want to think about what do I want to sleep on? Some people can just sleep on the ground. Awesome, great. I can't do that. So I always try to get a decent pad. You can get a pad that's kind of like, so it's thicker than a yoga mat, but it's not. It's a bedroll. It'll roll up into about. It's usually about 2 feet wide and maybe 6 feet long, and you can roll it up into kind of a bundle about the size of a log that you'd put on a fire. You're going to sleep on it. I've even thought about, there's this really cool thing called Moonpad, which is basically this company. They take the material that is left over when they make earplugs, and they cut them into big sheets. And I'm going to get one of these and just, cut it in half and then use it. And it's heavier, but it's a much better surface to sleep on because I need a decent surface to sleep on. And I can save weight in other areas of things that I don't need. So if sleeping is really important to you in terms of like what you sleep on, I'm a side sleeper, so I need a little more cushion to not tear up my hip bones. Let's see what these people have to say. So yeah, go with that. Or some people just go with, the straight pad. Some people go with pads that can like fold up, or inflatable ones that they put on top of other things. So just find out what's good for you, what's light, what fits with your stuff. You're going to want a sleeping bag is good to have if you're going to be in any kind of warm weather, or cold weather. Usually one that's rated to 30 or 32 degrees should be good enough for anything that's not winter camping or Arctic camping. So if you're going to do the AT in June, you don't need a sleeping bag that's rated to 15 degrees. You'll die. You'll just be way too hot. And what I do, I have a sleeping bag that's rated to 32, but I also have a sleeping bag liner, which is good for another couple degrees of warmth, but also it keeps the sleeping bag cleaner. And it's much easier to clean than the actual bag is. So, all my grody body gets on the liner and not on the bag. Sleeping bag liner, sleeping bag. There's some really good ones that you can get for not real expensive. If you're going to be doing any amount of time other than just day hiking or more than an overnight, you're going to want some kind of water purification system. I prefer the water pumps. Some people like the tablets. They're these weird they're almost like pens. You stick it in and press a little button, and it puts in a chemical that purifies the water. Just about, it's like 98% of freshwater streams in the contiguous United States have this chemical called Giardia. Not chemical, it's a bacteria called Giardia. And it gets in your gut and it just messes things up. It's no good. So you need to pump water if you're going to drink. A lot of places don't have water. I went to Big Bend and they have a lot of spigots, but they're mostly at like central locations. So we had to figure other things out. We had to carry a lot of water. You can't rely on there being clean water to drink. So take a water filtration system. A good water pump will be about $70. It'll last you a while. It's a really good investment, especially if you're going to spend a significant amount of time, camping and backpacking. It's really good. Along with that, get a couple good Nalgene's. You should probably have 2 per person. You want to carry, you need to be drinking about 2 of those a day, depending on the temperature. Like if it's really hot, you want to go higher. If it's cold, you don't need as much, but you're going to be working hard. Hiking and backpacking is hard work, and it's a lot of fun. But it's hard. You're going to work up a sweat. You're going to lose moisture. You're going to lose vitamins. Vitamins? What? You're going to lose salts through your sweat. So along with that, you need to take trail mix is just what everybody goes for, that, or sunflower seeds. I do sunflower seeds a lot. Just things that you can put back the salts and the moisture and the liquid that you lose when you hike. So what have I done? I've done shoes, backpack, pad and sleeping bag, water filtration. You're going to want some way to cook usually, because you don't want to carry around a bunch of food that, is just big and bulky. So you're going to want to take things that are easy to do kind of in a compact area, that are light. And a lot of people we used Whisper Lights, which are these really cool stoves. They kind of pack up into a package about the size of a softball, maybe a little bit bigger. And you carry a gas can with them. Oh yeah, we're going to do some more fighting. You carry a gas can with them, you hook them up, start the fire, you can boil a pot, you can have a little camp gear thing. And it's good stuff. You can cook with that. I also have this thing called a jet boil, which is basically a little, it's like a stove that ignites, and it uses a little propane can on the bottom, and you can boil up to a quart of water, which works really well. So I'll put beans in there, or I'll make soup or coffee or that sort of thing. Just because you're hiking and backpacking doesn't mean you have to eat lousy food or bird-like food. There's a lot of stuff that you can do. It was a little bit easier because we were hiking in groups of 5, 6, 7 people, and we can kind of divvy up the food. But we did spaghetti and dehydrated tomatoes that we turned into spaghetti sauce. We did macaroni and cheese. You can use lunch meats are easy to carry. Those sausages that come in the kind of hermetically sealed packages, those are light and you can fit them in really easily, and they keep for a while. The thing you want to remember is anything you take in, you've got to take out. So if you bring in trash with your food, you've got to take it out with you. You can't leave food lying around because that makes bears. Oh man, that's the other big thing. If you've got food and you go to sleep, you've got to a lot of places in the Smokies have bear lines. Some places will give you areas, special trees to put things up on. Sometimes you have to have your own, it's called a bear bag. So it's basically a rope in a bag, and you throw the bag over a tree bench while holding one end of it. And then you shimmy up your food, because you don't want, there you go, Professor Oak. You don't want animals to come in and eat your food and get in your camp and do all these things. So that's really important. The whole process of food is you got to try things, you got to figure it out, and you want to find ways to minimize the weight. So you're going to take stuff out of its packaging and put it in plastic bags. But you've also got to make sure that it's something that is easy to clean up, easy to eat, easy to cook. You've got to clean out your pots, or else you'll get bugs and mice in them. So things that are kind of just quick hits are really good. And you got to eat what you cook. Because if you just throw food out like, oh, I didn't eat that, you might be able to put it back in a bag, but a lot of times you won't be. So yeah, those are the, hey, that's what I've got for you for backpacking. Hopefully those are some good tips. Just remember those when you go to buy food, or when you go to buy materials. Get good stuff, get quality stuff, and just remember, enjoy backpacking. It's a lot of fun. See you next time.